Welcome back. We have Fred Ajarian with us right now. He is a director with the El Toro Water District, and they are a district of distinction, right? You guys got an award, right?
Good morning. Yes, we did. Good morning.
Yeah, good to see you.
Appreciate it. It's nice to be back.
We'll talk about that in a little bit because I know I think it's fantastic that you guys got that, right?
Oh yes,
really
this
good.
is we're both the board and the staff are extremely proud of the effort of this award. It took a tremendous amount of effort.
Yeah.
And not only did staff have to take certain training and classes and have reviews from independent third parties, but also the board members as well had to take classes and complete certain requirements to check off the the list of requirements for this. So we're extremely proud of it because it's very difficult to attain.
That's fantastic.
So thank you very much for asking that. Appreciate that.
So we're going to get a drought update here.
Yes.
As we've seen partly what happened this year, while it was certainly good news up in the Sierras as far as what we got.
Yes.
Meaning we got probably something would have been nice to have the previous years, a kind of an average snowfall. Of course, Southern California, we never got that effect.
Correct. As we just talked last time, Ken, forecasters were predicting this monstrous El Nino that was to have benefited both Northern and Southern California, but somehow either the good Lord or other forces decided to shift the El Nino further north. So Southern California was left much drier than expected.
Yeah.
So that put all the rain and all the snow up north, which is fine. It helped to ameliorate what had been a miserable set of snowpack conditions for the prior 4 years, and we've got it just to slightly above average, not completely, but it did result in the reservoirs getting filled.
Right.
So, which was good news for the entire state because we were in the grip of we were looking at the start of another year of drought, and so it was a great concern. So, as we see here, so far since you and I last spoke in April, a lot of that, and I'll talk about this in a second, where the snowpack has just deteriorated fast because of increased weather. So there's been marginal improvement in our water storage conditions. As our customers, and as you know, Ken, we get the bulk. Southern California and Northern California get the bulk of their supplies from Colorado River and Northern California. Not too much in the way of local supplies. So the Colorado River, very important source. Lake Mead in particular, this year is at a record low since it filled up last, which was in 1983. That's significant. Wow. In fact, there are discussions that are ongoing as we speak among the lower basin states of Arizona, California, and Nevada to discuss, okay, what are the next steps? This is a kind of an interesting situation. As it says, we're in our 5th year of drought. Maybe we're looking at our 6th. In fact, it's probably more than maybe. Forecasters are already anticipating a La Nina dry winter, not the monster El Nino that was supposed to happen, but a much drier winter. So a bit of good news here, which I'll talk about in just a bit for our customers, is that the state now has changed from a state-mandated conservation to a local conservation effort, meaning instead of the state setting the guidelines, that control has come to the local agencies, which is absolutely a godsend.
Yeah.
We need that. It should have been that way from the very beginning, because after all, who knows the needs of customers better than local water agencies?
Yeah, exactly.
So. And in that, consistent with that, our wholesaler, Municipal Water District, in light of the change, has called for continued conservation of 10%. Not as much as the 24% that the state had required El Toro to do last year. And I'll show some examples of how well our customers did. They did a heck of a job, Ken. But and then, of course, just underscoring what I just said, we are the local water agency that's responsible for managing those water supplies and for taking care of all of our customers' needs, water needs.
Exactly.
So that's kind of sets the tone now for hopefully some a little bit better news in the next few slides.
Yeah, exactly. So the snowpack supplies 30% of the water needs in California.
Right.
Yeah.
Traditionally, our water from Northern California comes in the form of it comes from the snowpack. That's, if you think of the snowpack as a large reservoir, a frozen reservoir, if you will. 30% of the state's total water needs come from that, so that as it melts, typically, normally, if there is such a normal weather condition, it would trickle down into the rivers, creeks, rivers, and streams through spring and summer. Unfortunately, according to climatologists at Stanford University, we're seeing the effect of climate change that's affecting the timing and the pattern of that snowmelt and runoff. Specifically, this spring, after you and I spoke, it was probably first part of April, the temperatures just shot right up after we got that pretty good snowpack, and it caused an incredibly fast Sierra snowpack melt, which means the snow is melting faster, reservoirs are filling up. Once they fill up, the excess just flows out into the ocean, unfortunately. Roughly 75% of that water that would flow is flowing at the moment from the mountains at this time. And then after that, it's going to really taper off because of that fast snowmelt. Another, I think, serious issue to follow and track, as we've seen now with all these wildfires that we're hearing about in the news, the drought's impact on the forest trees.
Right.
Over 66, approaching 70 million dead trees in the Sierra Nevada alone in California because of the drought. That translates into bark beetle infestations.
Right.
Because the trees can't protect themselves from these invaders. And also, of course, the increased risk of wildfires, which I see we're going to have quite a few more of as the year progresses.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Something to watch for.
All right, here is a chart that we're going to look at, and it shows some comparisons.
And so I think overall the good news, and I really want to applaud our customers for the effort that they did. This shows our savings over a one-year period. As I stated earlier, the state had implemented a 24% mandate, meaning we had to reduce our supplies by 24%. So it took a lot of effort, a lot of outreach and work to advise our customers, here's the situation, here's what you can do, and the customers responded. With the exception of February, which is an extremely warm month.
Right.
Everywhere else, our overall savings, we not only met, but we exceeded that goal of 24%. So our total for the year to date is 26%. Now, just to help customers, the blue, of course, is the percentage of the supply coming from our normal imported water supplies. The red, though, comes from our recycled water project, the new $35 million project that our directors just dedicated a year ago. And so, as you can see, without that recycled water project, in quite a few of the months, in a number of the months, we would have not met our state mandated target.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank heaven for our recycled water plant. It was a 15 to 20 year project by the previous board members and the staff who planned, conceived, funded, and constructed this project, and they had some great vision. So this is a great homage, I think, to our customers' efforts here. So.
Exactly. Okay, as far as the regulations go, let's talk about, you touched on it, how a lot of these are going, while the summer's still in place, they're giving it more to local municipalities.
Correct. So as we spoke earlier, the state, the governor Brown said, all right, he realized that, I think he and the legislature realized we need to make some changes here because we've had an improvement, the snowpack. So he issued his executive order, which ordained that water conservation will be a way of life, but importantly, it extended the drought regulations through January of next year. Secondly, that meant that now the state, in the form of the State Water Resources Control Board, had to take the governor's order and interpret that and create a self-certification approach whereby as the state ceded its control of the water goals to the local agencies would have to show and prove to the state that they could pass a stress test. The stress test basically says local agencies and their wholesalers must demonstrate over a 3-year period that we have sufficient supplies, and El Toro did just that.
Okay.
So the water agencies then set their own savings targets, which we have now at 10%.
Okay, which is, as you said, keeping things local.
Correct.
Helps.
And I think it's where it should have been all along, but that's one director's opinion.
Yeah.
So if we could go to the next slide.
And we, on this slide, we're going to talk about, here's some of the plans that are coming.
Correct. This is the good news I referred to. So again, our customers did a heck of a job. All of the cities, all of our customers that we serve, we really applaud them for their efforts. So the specific change that our board approved earlier this month is fourfold. First, we reaffirmed our level 1 water supply shortage. That's just basic common sense conservation. Don't hose your driveway down, broom it down. Don't let water run off. Don't let your sprinklers over irrigate. Those basic conservation things.
Exactly.
Turn off the tap when you're brushing your teeth or when you're washing dishes. Things that are just in effect permanently. Second, very good bit of news from a pocketbook standpoint is the fact that we suspended, effective August 1st, a surcharge, an administrative surcharge of $2 per 100 cubic foot. That's $2 per unit of water. The board had adopted this and applied it to Tier 3 and Tier 4 users, those people who, because of whatever reason, they would need more water to meet their needs. And so because of that, and the fact that the state said to every agency, thou shalt impose a penalty and have it in place, we had no choice but to do so.
Exactly.
Otherwise, if we didn't meet the target of 24%, the state would fine us, and then we'd have to turn around and find a way to pay that fine.
Exactly.
So that's the only reason why we had this penalty in place. The other bit of good news, I'm sorry, go back, sorry, I haven't finished yet.
Okay.
Back. There we go.
All right.
The other bit of good news is that we increased the drought factor from 50% to 75%. So it means more water to customers. They'll have a little bit more to work with when they irrigate their plants. And the 10% goal, but customers need to remember, we're still in a drought. And so until drought conditions change or the state mandates a higher level because of changing conditions, which could happen anytime later this year.
Right, exactly.
It's permanent. This is a way of life.
Yeah.
Now we're ready for the last.
All right. And we talk about how you said, you make it permanent and.
We have to.
Yeah, exactly.
We live, Southern California is a semi-arid desert, always has been, always will be. The good weather has attracted many, many people, which has been a wonderful thing. But like my colleague, Jeff Keitlinger, the manager of Metropolitan Water District, said, droughts really demand that we demonstrate this conservation as a permanent way of life in Southern California. And if we're successful together, then there will not be as much of a need to impose these temporary water use mandates that we see.
Exactly.
The state, of course, they've changed to permanent regulations. So to do that, we're doing extensive outreach, customer outreach. Our themes, conservation is part of the California lifestyle, and encouraging our customers not to waste water, use water efficiently, don't waste it. And again, once more, I have to thank our customers. What a marvelous job they've done.
I think everyone in Southern California
we are
has done
just
a great job.
Delighted.
If you want more information, you can always go to their website at etwd.com or call them at 949-837-0660. Fred, good to
Ken,
see you. as
likewise,
always.
pleasure as always. Look forward to the next time.
Look forward to the next time. All right, you
Thank
take
you.
care,
Thank
and
you
we'll
very
be right
much.
back.